Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Give me some Ingram. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Godden.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
A first down throw for Mariota. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 39 yards there. A big one.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fix what was wrong with them in the last game.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A look there at Ingram's numbers from a week ago. 22 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
On second down, Ingram. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Draw play, Ingram now. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And the big difference in the game? Their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing his long. And he's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A.J. Green, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Great corner route there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that makes the score 7-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mariota. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. To throw is Mariota. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. The crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a play fake, and it's locked. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 27 yards there, a first down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down now, it's White. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Luck on first down. It's caught. This is White. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. James White. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That one good for 24 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime and make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Luck. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Here's Love. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. That'll bring up second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Luck now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing on 3rd down, Love. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. A.J. Boyer with a pick, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to air one out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Packers. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left, and no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers defense, they ready themselves here. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They toss to Ingram. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Mariota to throw it. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now Brown, fighting him off. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start, got their feature guy going, and now
he's got him in, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
No, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen to fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And down inside the 15 he goes. To throw his lock. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. A chance to really cap up. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. James White with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. This one complete to Ingram. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Mariota. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. On the draw, this is Ingram. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On 3rd down, Mariota. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I'm coming.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Watch a slap, watch a slap, watch a slap.
Again, it's Mariota. And Matthews makes the ground. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon.
Halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, 3rd quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. And the drive starts with a completion, left side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
53, Mike 53. All right, T, let's turn. All right.
On first down, Locke. Got a man, it's Brown. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And now the throw hauled in by Green. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Here's White. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Antonio Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that will extend this big lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 25 on second down. Mariota, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
What we got?
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
Oh, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position, a couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter and maybe flip the field position for their defense.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd and 5 now. Luck. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now Brown, he lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. On first down, White. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Forced out to his left. Open man is Switzer complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll run with White. Now White lost the football, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Mariota now after the fumble recovery. Able to shake him off. 20. He gets it to Matthews, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Bennett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A.J. Boye with a pick. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on 3rd.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Now Mariota. It's caught. Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. To throw is Mariota. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down. Mariota now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
To throw, Mariota. He finds his target. It's Matthews. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. When you're in a zone like he is, what's the conversation like on the sideline between he and his quarterback? Is that a one-way conversation of, hey, just keep getting me the football?
It actually is probably a two-way conversation because he wants to keep getting him the football because he's seeing the payoff. You know, getting the ball to that guy means yardage, and as we've seen, touchdowns in this game. So I think both of them get more and more excited about the possibilities as things continue on.
Yeah, so far it's been over 100 yards and the 2 scores. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now White. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run with White. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Thompson, and he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That second down play nets a -4.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Back to throw. Green. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
Here's Bradley Pinion now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Brandon Graham, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Mariota to throw it. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Going on the ground, it's White. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's get it!
Opting to run again here with White. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down. First down, here's White. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Today's final
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And it's So for Green Bay, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again.
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.